Hello and welcome to Naughty Scares.
The mother of a toddler who died years ago claims her daughter's spirit is caught on camera. Faviola Rodriguez was 2 years old when she died in September 2018. Since then, mother Sandra Gonzalez has had problems with people stealing toys and personal belongings from her grave at the Masonic Cemetery in Las Cruces. Another family's camera later captured this video and showed it to Faviola's mother, who says she's sure it's her daughter.
In September 2018, 2-year-old Faviola Rodriguez, affectionately known as Baby Favi, was tragically killed by her mother's boyfriend, Lalo Anthony Castrillo. Faviola's mother, Sandra Gonzalez, had left her daughter in Castrillo's care while she worked a night shift. During this time, Castrillo's inflicted fatal blunt force trauma to Faviola's head and body. Castrillo told the police that the mother, Sandra Gonzalez, put her baby Faviola to sleep at around 9:30 p.m. on September 5, 2018. Castrillo said he stayed up for a while playing video games. At around midnight, Sandra Gonzalez called to check up on Faviola. Castrillo told the police that he went to Faviola's room and she was sleeping, concluding everything was fine, and after talking with Gonzalez, he went to bed shortly after. Then, at 3 a.m., a text woke him up. Castrillo said he went to check on Faviola and found her laying on the floor, not breathing. Calling the police at 3:19 a.m., supposedly just a minute or two after finding Faviola on the floor. However, his phone revealed his lies. The police investigation revealed that the phone evidence showed Castrillo was up until 1 a.m. and continued until he called the police at 3:19 a.m. Castrillo delayed calling 911 and instead searched online for terms like cardiogenic shock, how to pump blood back into a body after a heart stops beating, and how to stop a child from suffocating on their own vomit. Faviola Rodriguez sustained multiple injuries before her death, which were indicative of severe physical abuse. The autopsy revealed blunt force trauma to the head and body, bruises on her head, chin, and torso, internal injuries consistent with being struck or shaken. The exact motive behind the tragic killing of Faviola Rodriguez by Lalo Anthony Castrillo remains unclear, although it's hard to imagine that the night Faviola was unalived was the first time Castrillo hurt the child, but no articles have mentioned any previous abuse to Faviola. But it does make me wonder, could it be that she woke up in the middle of the night, cried, upsetting Castrillo so much that he beat a child so badly? Was he trying to do something else? Unfortunately, only Castrillo knows what made him act so violently towards a little girl. In the halls of justice, Sandra Gonzalez found herself ensnared in a web of grief and relentless pursuit for justice. The trial over the death of her beloved daughter, Faviola Rodriguez, was not just a legal battle, but a harrowing journey through the darkest corners of human emotion, as Sandra was forced to relive the trauma over and over again. In the courtroom, for Sandra, each day in court was a descent into a personal hell, where she had to confront the haunting memories of her daughter's final moments. The trial dragged on for nearly 5 agonizing years, almost to the date. Complications arose even before the trial began, as jury selection proved to be a minefield, with potential jurors being dismissed due to personal connections to the case or preconceived notions about the tragedy. This added layer of complexity only served to prolong the agony, as Sandra waited for justice to take its course. The prosecution faced significant hurdles, particularly in the exclusion of crucial evidence. Key pieces such as the chilling 911 audio recordings and the heart-wrenching photos of Faviola's injuries were initially barred from the courtroom. This decision cast a shadow over the case, making it even more challenging to paint a clear picture of the events that led to Faviola's untimely death. That and delayed courtroom dates due to coronavirus. The defense, relentless in their efforts, cast doubt over the cause of Faviola's injuries. They suggested that the bruises and marks on her fragile body could have been the result of a desperate life-saving attempts rather than malicious abuse. This argument planted seeds of doubt, threatening to obscure the truth and derail the quest for justice.
The defense attorney of Lalo Castillo says that police tried to force a confession out of him, but the detective on stand here today says that that was not the case. He added that the mother of the baby was in distress while being interviewed, but this is a reaction that they didn't see from Castillo.
You tell this jury how many times in the course of your interview you saw the defendant break down in tears over this situation? None.
5 years ago, 2-year-old Faviola Rodriguez died after being left in the care of Castillo. In a cross-examination today focused on the multiple bruises throughout Faviola's body. The state's next witness was the emergency medical doctor the night that Faviola was taken to the hospital. The defense repeatedly asked if some bruising was caused by medical intervention, and the doctor said that the bruises on her body were not normal for resuscitation efforts. An LCPD investigator retrieved a photo from Castillo's phone of a child with an unspecified substance on their nose. A detective previously testified Castillo had wiped the child's nose because she had vomit coming out of her mouth and nose. He says Castillo told police he found the child on the floor, face up next to her bed. The doctor who performed the baby's autopsy testified she found 3 different blunt injuries to her head.
And what was that manner of death?
Homicide.
All right.
The trial will continue to tomorrow. We'll make sure to keep you updated both on there and online. And later in our top stories, I'll tell you how this trial risks of being a mistrial yet again.
Adding a chilling twist to this tragic story, there have been claims of a video showing Faviola's ghost visiting her grave. Faviola Rodriguez's ghost sighting is both eerie and touching. The family that captured the images of what they believed to be Faviola's spirit had set up a camera near their own son's grave. They were trying to catch evidence of vandalism, as their son's killer was still at large and allegedly desecrating the gravesite. One night, their camera recorded images of a young girl wandering the cemetery. Concerned that a child might be lost, they showed the footage to the cemetery staff, who immediately recognized the girl as Faviola. When the family showed the images to Sandra Gonzalez, she was overwhelmed with emotion, convinced that the spirit in the footage was indeed her daughter. The final image captured by the camera showed the little girl walking away with a tall man, which Sandra believes was Faviola guiding another soul to heaven.
She had introduced herself and she told us that she had like something like really beautiful to show us that they had captured on their video camera. So then she like pulled out her phone and she showed it to me and she told us well, as soon as like she showed me the picture, like I started like crying.
A final image shows what appears to be a man with the little girl. The mother believes it's Faviola guiding another family's brother up to heaven.
In the end, the court found Lalo Anthony Castillo guilty, bringing a semblance of closure to a mother's nightmare. Castillo was found guilty of intentional child abuse resulting in death. The investigation revealed that Faviola had visible bruises on her head, chin, and torso, which were not caused by CPR attempts. Castillo was charged with intentional child abuse resulting in death. This charge was based on the severe injuries he inflicted on Faviola Rodriguez, which led to her tragic death. The legal proceedings concluded with Castillo being found guilty and receiving a life sentence. During his sentencing, Castillo showed little emotion. He did not make any statements or express remorse for his actions. The courtroom atmosphere was tense, with Faviola's family expressing their relief and satisfaction with the life sentence handed down to him. It's a tragic case, and the lack of remorse from Castrillo added to the family's pain. As we close this chilling chapter on the haunting case of Faviola Rodriguez, we are left with the eerie image of her ghostly presence lingering in the shadows. Her tragic story is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk behind closed doors. But what do you think? Do you believe Faviola's spirit still roams? Perhaps seeking justice or peace, maybe guiding other spirits to heaven? Share your thoughts and theories below. Until next time, spooky babes. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want. You don't have to. It's only if you want to. I'm not trying to force you or anything. It's only if you want to.